A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. So yesterday was a fantastic day, shared a signal on dollar yen actually with the exact entry stop loss and TP level. And if we just quickly have a dive into dollar yen first, we can very clearly see that the TP got hit. Absolute beautiful trade in towards the upside. We noted this down as an area of fake supply, as you can see over here. Fake supply and a beautiful tap above the highs now. So a lot of strength from the dollar index. That is what I wanted to show you. Going into euro USD first, we can very clearly see a further push in towards the downside. Now there's many reasons for this dollar strength, but first of all, what I want to mention is that we've come in towards this area of 4-hour demand. So this is a very clear sell before a strong buy in towards the upside. We've now liquidated this entire trend line over here, pushed in towards the downside. As we mentioned yesterday, it was a little bit too aggressive just to start buying inside here. What I wanted to see was a 4-hour fractal shift. So very clearly you see that push down, 4-hour fractal break. The high of this bullish candle is now your fractal high. So now if this demand zone wants to indeed push the market up higher, we need to see a 4-hour fractal shift, and that will then enable us to look for some potential longs back in towards the upside before then either heading back down or heading up higher. So I'm starting to get interested in potential longs, but first of all, we need to see the 4-hour momentum shift. Otherwise, I am only interested in further downside trading with the overall momentum, because here on the daily time frame, the momentum is still bearish. As we can see, we liquidated this high over here. We just popped above it and reversed in towards the downside. Now, looking where we currently are, we're obviously inside this daily sell before the buy candle. However, if we look at the overall fractal structure, because daily fractal structure is extremely important, guys, you can very clearly see once again a break, then a low break. So again, same as yesterday, this is your supply zone. We've got now a daily fractal break of structure after breaking this low. So this could mean further downside. But yeah, I mean, there is potential for some short-term longs if we see the momentum shift in towards the upside. But for now, the dollar index is strong, and if we look at the dollar index, you can very clearly see that we've popped above all those equal highs like I mentioned in yesterday's video. So we have NFP this week. Keep that in mind. A lot of red folder news on the dollar even today. So I am very curious to see what is going to happen. Obviously, we have a lot of equal highs still open. Like, that is just a fact. We still have a lot of liquidity above these lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And again, guys, liquidity is just stop losses are placed above obvious highs. And if that high never gets taken out, there are still stop losses above it. So if I look at NFP, what I'm going to be looking for is, again, here we had a daily break in towards the downside. This is now your daily demand zone. So this daily demand zone, this sell for the buy, should hold. So with NFP, this is my target in towards the upside. So target number 1, and this is target number 2. And this is my shorter term target number 3. Maybe with NFP, we wick into there and then we push up higher from there. But this is currently your support zone, and these are currently your resistance zones. Okay, that's all I want you to know from my side. Going into AUDUSD, actually one of the more beautiful pairs. A very beautiful slowdown so far here on AU. Obviously, we are still inside a daily bullish range, with this blue line being your low, the blue upper line being your high. If we then go in towards the 4-hour time frame, what has been happening? Now, yesterday we saw a 4-hour fractal break in towards the downside. So you get the push up, pull down, push up, pull down, push up. Again, we're just higher high, higher highing, higher highing. Then what happens? We break the fractal low over here, push in towards the downside. This is the first break, then boom, this is your second break, confirm bullish momentum, come back in towards this supply, and then we sold off again. So there was actually a shorting opportunity yesterday here on AU, very or pretty obvious, coming in towards this buy before the sell over here. Then what happens here? We see the fractal break in towards the downside. So this is just a market structure shift, and then you form supply, and then you sell off in towards the downside. So that was a nice short that could have been taken on AUDUSD. So going back in towards the 1 hour and going into the 4 hour, obviously it still makes sense for AU now to push further down lower, as long as the fractal structure remains bearish. For now, we're still looking for that further downside as long as the fractal structure remains bearish. So the high of this bullish candle, as long as that is respected, we should continue down lower. as we can very clearly see, we pulled back up in towards pretty much the 618, rejected it, and just pushed down lower from there. So still looking for further downside on AU until we break this high again, because we have a double 4-hour fractal break. So for me, this is like a light indication that we're going to just start pushing down lower. But if we can obviously push above this bullish candles high, then I'll look for further upside once again. Going into NZDUSD, after that we'll do GBPUSD. So NZDUSD was actually the most beautiful short, again, as we discussed yesterday, guys. Very, very beautiful. Daily, first of all, daily has been slowing down extremely hard. As we can see over here, rejection after breaking this fractal high. There was no candle close above the fractal high. You can watch back yesterday's video. I explained the exact same thing. Grab liquidity above the highs. So a small indication that further downside is very well possible. Then you go in towards the 4-hour time frame, and what do you see there? Pretty similar to AU, where you get the fractal break, then here the fractal low break, indicating further downside momentum. Go in towards the 1-hour time frame, and then what do you see? Overall momentum remained bearish in towards the downside. We came beautifully back up into supply, and we sold off from there. So some nice some nice price action here on NZDUSD. Extremely clear. For me, this is now just, still pretty bearish, a lot of bearish momentum. I would only be interested in any potential longs if we start pushing up, break this fractal high, then I would only be interested in longs. Otherwise, until then, just follow the order flow further down. Now, going into GBPUSD and, of course, gold. So GBPUSD here on the daily, first of all, has been selling off. We came back down pretty much into the overall order flow. Nothing too clean here on the daily to see, in my opinion. Going in towards the 4-hour time frame, what I'm looking for personally is to liquidate this low still and tap in towards this fresh area of supply, and then see a 4-hour change of character to then look for longs. For me, no longs on the board just yet. If we do, and this is kind of what I mentioned yesterday, like you see the initial break, but then again, you see some initial bullish reaction with this one bullish candle, but no follow through, because there's just no double break, no real confirmation for bullish upside. So again, overall momentum is in towards downside. Don't randomly start buying on the very first demand zone that is created just because you think it's going to move up. So really wait for that confirmation to form. So for now, I'm just waiting for the 4-hour to push one more time down. Then, for example, break fractal high and look for double break up. Otherwise, just trade with the overall momentum in towards the downside. Last of all, gold. What is gold doing? Gold has pushed up higher again. As we can see, it just came back very dirty to liquidate the lows one more time. Overall, looking at further upside, but waiting for news to do its thing. For now, what I'll wait for is just another fractal high break over here. So the high break of this supply zone of this high, and then I'll look for a long. Otherwise, we just stay out of gold, in my opinion. So waiting for the highs to break, and then potential longs on our hands. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and speak soon.